Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first of a new series of videos on this channel called Movies and Shows You've Never Heard of. In today's video, I will be discussing the 1985 version of Anne of Green Gables. Now, if you are my age or if you are even older, you might have actually heard of this series. But if you are younger and if you are of this newer generation, you might not have heard of this one because there have been newer versions made here recently, especially. But this is the version that I grew up with, and I have seen some of the newer ones, and this one still remains my favorite Anne of Green Gables adaptation. I've even seen a lot of older Anne of Green Gables adaptations. I've seen I believe it was the 70s miniseries, and I saw the 30s movie, and this one still remains my favorite adaptation of all of them. It might even be related to nostalgia feelings because this is the version that I did grow up with. But biases aside, I still believe this one really holds up. I really believe it's a very good adaptation of the book. And it's just such a bright, happy, it really gives you such a happy, warm feeling when you watch it. And I really believe that was the intent of the author who wrote the book. That was kind of the theme of the book, and it's kind of the same for this movie. Is it leaves you happy and warmer, and just it's got such great themes of friendship and love and loyalty and strength, and it's great. And I love that it delves into persevering and knowledge, even of a love of knowledge, and yeah, it's just such great themes about it. So I'll go ahead and tell a little bit of the summary in case anyone happens to have not ever heard of Anne of Green Gables before. So this is the summary. An orphan girl sent to an elderly brother and sister by mistake charms her new home and community with her fiery spirit and imagination. So this is a wonderful, wonderful story. It deals a lot with biases towards the main character is an orphan, and a lot of people who first interact with her have a resentment towards her, or they just definitely treat her differently because of her situation and where she comes from. And she comes from a very unhappy situation. It's a dark past, and a lot of terrible people that she lives with and has to deal with all the time, pretty much all of her growing up. And but near the beginning of this, though, she comes into, finally, after so many years of terrible situations, she finally comes into a good situation by mistake. And it's kind of like, was it by mistake, or was that God intervened? Or, it's just like, by the end of all of it, everyone just comes out better and happier. Not just Anne, but everyone who's ever interacted with her or has gotten to know her, especially even gotten close to her, has become better for it. And she, of course, it's definitely on both sides. She has definitely become a better person. So the reason I like this version better than any other, though, is, of course, the production was really, really good, too. This, of course, was a lot shot on the actual Prince Edward Island, and it was completely shot in Canada, different places in Canada, and mostly all Canadian actors. And by the way, it is a brilliant cast. It is like some top-notch actors in this production, and it's just really, really good writing. Of course, it's not perfect to the book, but the things they've changed and things they've added and things they've taken away actually didn't hurt it at all. It actually helped with this adaptation, because of course you have to do some of that when you're making any type of adaptation, but this one I thought really did it well. And it was a mini-series. I believe it's like 3 hours altogether. It was like a 2-part mini-series, and I believe is around 3 hours altogether. So it's like a long movie. But it's beautiful. It's a great production design, great cast, great writing. Yeah, it's just really, really great. And the reason I like it best is I tried to watch some of Anne with an E, and some of y'all might disagree with me on this, and that's okay. We don't all have to have the same opinions, because how boring would the world be if we all had the exact same opinions? It's okay to have different opinions. But in my personal opinion, I did not like Anne with an E. I tried watching Anne with an E, and I got quite a few episodes in, and I was on board for the most part of it. I was like, okay, so she is from an orphanage. I can deal with the fact that, ooh, it is darker. Okay, fine. We're gonna get even more gritty into the orphanage part of it. Okay, sure. But it just got more and more and more. I mean, it just seemed to get darker and darker. And then even the tone of it, even the look of it and the production of it was just dark. And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not enjoying this. I'm just not. And I've seen clips and tidbits and here and there of the next seasons. I haven't watched all of them, but I've seen little clips of it, and I'm not crazy about where it's going. They've definitely changed it a lot from the book, and sometimes that's a good thing, but in this instance, I just, in my personal opinion, I just did not enjoy it. It didn't leave me feeling happy and warm as this 1985 version did. So yes, I definitely recommend to check it out if you've never seen it. It deals a lot with, she wants to be a teacher and she learns so quickly and she loves reading and loves books. So if you are into books and if you're like a book nerd like I am, just definitely check it out because she's so relatable that way, and she's the type of person who she has a fiery temper and she can't control it, and she gets herself in a lot of trouble because of that. And it's so relatable, especially when you're growing up and you're a kid. Oh, that was so relatable to me because I just couldn't control myself growing up and had a temper. And I mean, she is such a relatable, warm, sweet character, and definitely check it out. I promise you it'll leave you having a better day and feeling good. And especially in these times where we're going through so much stressful things, it's a perfect thing to watch to just wind down and leave you feeling better. So I definitely recommend it. So that will be it for today, you guys. So stay tuned because I will definitely do more videos like this, movies and shows that you've never heard of, and you might actually really, really like, and you might never would have heard of it otherwise. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. There's more of these to come. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.